Okay, so let me just see if I'm tracking this right. 4 people, 4 nominees for lifetime appointments to the federal bench, sitting under oath in a Senate Judiciary hearing on April 29th, 2026. And not one of them, not a single one, will answer the question, who won the 2020 election? Like a real answer. Joe Biden won. 5 words. They cannot say it. And one of them, on camera, just admitted he has not even watched the videos from January 6th. And he's about to be a federal judge for life. And it gets worse, because Senator Blumenthal is sitting there just absolutely taking them apart. He calls them, direct quote, weak and pathetic. He looks at them and tells them, you are afraid of Donald Trump. And he's right, because all 4 of them, Hendershot, Jones, Kuntz, and Mark, 4 different people, 4 different states, give the exact same canned answer. Word for word. So watch this play out. Watch how Blumenthal gives them every chance to be honest, and they pick the script every single time. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that now so you don't miss the breakdown after. Let's get into it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome to the witnesses. Thank you for your willingness to serve. Let me begin with Mr. Hendershot. Who won the 2020 election?
Senator, I wanted to be mindful of the canons here. I know this question has come up many times in these hearings, and it's become an issue of significant political dispute and debate. So with that, I'd say that President Biden was certified the winner of the 2020 election.
He won the election. Is that your response?
Senator, I think my response is he was certified as the winner by counting the electoral.
So you're unwilling to say he won the election. How about you, Mr. Roberts?
I'm sorry, Senator.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jones.
I apologize, Senator. I have this same answer as my colleague, Senator.
Same answer as the previous one?
The previous nominee. The Senate did.
Mr. Coons, how about you?
Thank you, Senator. And I have the same answer as Mr.
Same
Hendershot.
answer. Unwilling to say that Joe Biden won the election, correct?
As Mr. Hendershot said, it has become a matter of political concern, and Joe Biden.
Well, it's a matter of political
winner.
concern, but it's also an issue of fact. Is it not?
Joe Biden was, in fact, certified the winner of the 2020 election.
Mr. Mark?
Same answer, Senator.
I am amazed and really appalled that nominees for a lifetime appointment to the federal bench are unwilling to respond on an issue of fact. And I'm not going to try to get an answer out of you because clearly you've been rehearsed to provide a stock answer, which I think really reflects not only on your honesty, but really on your fitness to be a federal judge, because you are supposed to be independent and to arrive at the truth based on the evidence before you. And I think it's pretty irrefutable that Joe Biden won the election, but you're unwilling to use that word because you are afraid. You are afraid of what? President Trump? That is exactly what we do not need on the federal bench today. We need jurists who are fearless and strong, not weak and pathetic. And I can't tell you how disappointed I am. We can disagree on issues of law. We can disagree on issues of fact, but for you to simply avoid a factual and responsive answer, I think, is a disrespect to this committee as well as to us. Let me try another question. Was the Capitol attacked on January 6th, Mr. Hendershot?
Senator, the same kind of question has come up, I know, many times in these hearings, and under Canon 5, which I consider myself bound by, that is a matter of significant political controversy.
It's a matter of what?
It is a matter of significant political controversy.
It's a matter of controversy that the Capitol of the United States was attacked? You've seen the videos, have you not?
Senator, I've not seen many of the videos, to be honest.
How do you answer, Mr. Jones?
Senator, I also believe it is a matter of significant political controversy, and there's also a possibility that there could be litigation still over those events that could appear before me, and as a nominee, I don't believe the canons would allow me to comment on.
Well, I'm as troubled by that response as I am by Mr. Hendershot's, because there's zero chance that it will be before your court if there is any litigation. Mr. Kuhn, how do you answer?
Chair Grassley, may I?
You answer the same?
I was asking the chair if I could answer.
Just so you know, I'm waiting for Hall, and so I suppose if you want to continue to ask questions, but I want to ask Henry.
Well, I just want to finish with our last witness here. Give him a chance. Mr. Coons, go ahead, and then I think you're going to avoid the answer too if I understand.
I do agree with my colleagues that it is a matter of political concern. I believe the language used by the Supreme Court is that there was a breach, and I would leave it at that.
All right, so let's actually talk about what we just watched. Because if your jaw was on the floor, that's the correct response. 4 nominees: Michael Hendershot for the Northern District of Ohio, Arthur Jones for the Southern District of Texas, Jeffrey Kuntz for the Southern District of Florida, John Mark, also Southern District of Texas. All 4. Same canned answer. The scripted line is, Biden was certified the winner. Not won. Certified. There's a difference, and they know there's a difference. That's why they keep using it. Here's the dodge in plain English. They cite something called Canon 5 of the Code of Conduct for U.S. judges. Canon 5 says, judges should not engage in political activity. Cool. Fine. Except who won a certified election from over 5 years ago is not political activity. That's a documented historical fact. So they're using a judicial ethics rule as a force field against reality. And according to public tracking, every single Trump judicial nominee this year has run the same exact play. Every one. And here's the moment that should disqualify Hendershot just on its own. Blumenthal asks him, was the Capitol attacked on January 6th? And Hendershot goes, that's a matter of significant political controversy. Blumenthal looks at him, kind of stunned, and says, you've seen the videos, right? And Hendershot, who is about to be a federal judge for the rest of his life, says, and I'm quoting from the transcript, I have not seen many of the videos, to be honest. Like, sir, what? And this is the part Blumenthal nails to the wall. He looks at all 4 of them and says, you are afraid of President Trump. Then he calls them, and I'm pulling this directly from the hearing transcript, weak and pathetic. Not a paraphrase, those exact words. To 4 people applying for a job that requires the opposite of weak and pathetic. Independent, backbone, impartiality. That's the actual job description. They are sitting there proving on camera they have none of those things. Now watch what Jones tries. He says he can't comment on January 6th because, quote, there could be litigation that could appear before him. And Blumenthal cuts him off cold. Says there's 0 chance it ends up in your court. 0 chance. And he's right. Because the Jan 6 cases at this point are largely settled, the appeals are mostly done, Trump pardoned most of the rioters. Jones knows that. He's a sitting federal prosecutor. He's just running the script. The script says, don't answer. And the language they pick matters a lot. When a future federal judge calls a violent attack on the Capitol a controversy, he's not being neutral. He's normalizing it. And Kuntz, the Florida nominee, actually goes a step further He says the Supreme Court used the word breach, like it was a security incident at a shopping mall. Officers were beaten. The vice president was being hunted through the building by a mob chanting his name. That's not a breach. That's an attack. The federal bench is supposed to know the difference. And here's how you know it's coordinated. 4 nominees, different states, different careers, different ages. They give the exact same answer. Word for word. Hendershot says it first. Then Jones literally says, same answer as my colleague. Then Kuntz says, same answer as Mr. Hendershot. Then Mark just says, same answer, Senator. That is not 4 lawyers independently reasoning their way to a thoughtful constitutional position. That is a script being read off a card. They were handed it. And this is what's really going on, just so we're crystal clear. To get a Trump judicial nomination in 2026, you have to pass a loyalty test. The test is, will you refuse on the record to acknowledge basic documented facts? And every single nominee Trump has put forward this year has done it. Every one and 19 Democratic senators have voted to confirm at least one of these nominees anyway. 19. So the loyalty test is working on both sides of the aisle. Now let me read you what Canon 5 actually says, because this is where the whole trick lives. Canon 5 says judges should refrain from political activity. That's it. That is the entire rule. It says nothing, not one word, about refusing to acknowledge documented historical facts under oath. Saying Joe Biden won the 2020 election is not political activity. It's reading the certified result, which is the same certification they keep pointing to in their dodge. So they're hiding behind the certification to avoid talking about who got certified. It's circular. It's nonsense. So here's the line for you. If somebody tries to tell you these nominees are just being ethically careful, here's exactly what you say. One of them admitted under oath he has not watched the January 6th videos. Another said the cases might come before him when there is zero chance they will. They cited a canon that does not say what they claim it says. And 4 different people gave the exact same answer in the exact same hearing. That's not careful. That's a loyalty oath with a black robe at the end of it. If this helped you see what's actually going on, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs the full picture. I'll see you in the next one.